My body is really sore.
From doing yoga?
I went and played golf with Jamal yesterday. We went golfing.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. And I was like, oh, so she just playing golf and shit, huh? All right, then.
That's what married women do with their friends.
Is that what happened?
No, I was watching a lot of Housewives, and I was like, Jamal, which
ones? Which one?
I just finished Potomac. I'm entirely caught up, so I was watching Potomac. But I said to Jamal, I was like, Jamal, we should do a golf date. And he was like, oh, that sounds fun. I was like, I can invite, this person and the people that we went. I was like, we can invite them. And he was like, well, you also have to invite, these other people. I was like, okay, well, whatever. People, and it's COVID, but people get jelly. And we invited them and they still didn't show up.
They're not children.
Exactly. But we did invite them, but they didn't show up. So, oh, well, we had a really good time. And being married to a coach who's intense, it's just like Jamal. It is all in the delivery. Because I was like,
what are you doing?
We are going to fight. He's like, you need to turn your hand and rotate it and follow through and keep your head down. And so, I was like, Coach, calm down. I was like, how many of these mistakes were you making when you started? He was like, yeah, I know. I just, he thinks he's like, I'm asking for this advice, but he
thinks you're Tiger Woods.
Okay. Right. But, everything he was saying, it finally made sense come hole 9. Cause
how many holes did you guys play?
9. They were like, oh, do you want to do back 9? I was like, no, I'm not doing 18 holes. Who do you think I am? This is the second time I've been on the golf course. Are you kidding? No. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why my body's really sore, because I was using a lot of body. He was like, well, you have to use arms too. And I was like, so no body? He's like, you have to use a little body too. So I'm just sore. My forearms hurt, but we had a really nice time.
Aside from all the overcoaching.
Exactly. But we had a good time. How was your week?
My week was okay. I used my planner printables, my YouTube planner printables this week. So that was exciting.
Nice.
And I figured out another page that I could add to it. So I designed the page last night, and it wasn't anything. I just had to make some lines and change some words. And but that was pretty much it with that. I'll show it to you later.
Okay.
And I recorded a YouTube video that will be out, that came out, if you're listening to this when this episode airs, yesterday.
Nice.
So it's available to watch on the UBTube. And
I'll share the episode in the show notes, the link to the YouTube.
Okay. And that's about it. How was your week?
I found Peloton yoga, and my life has been forever changed.
How did you not see that before?
Because I was just thinking Peloton was for the bike. And in the app, I didn't really pay attention. I don't get a new app and discover everything. No, I'm just I go in and I'm doing what I want to do.
I was like, look at, I do the meditation.
Well, let me finish. I found the yoga. So I love yoga. That's my shit. I can pop up in the morning, roll out my mats. I got 2 mats downstairs already. You don't need a bra for yoga. So I just get it on. And I'm really enjoying that. And this morning I did a yoga, and then I did meditation. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, girl, I like this. I did my first meditation. I noticed that you've done meditation because when you're friends, you could see what all the classes that your friends are taking, which I really like because you could be a stalker. And I've discovered that, and I'm not trying to force myself to do a bike because that's just not my jam. First of all, my bike is not equipped for the Peloton,
the intensity.
Yeah. I'm going to fly over my handles and kill myself on my busty bike. But I do want to try the other things, but I have found what I really enjoy, and I've lost 5 pounds.
The body weight ones are good too.
I need to do that too, because I need to burn this belly, because I'm just belly baby. Mm-hmm. Other than that, so they called me and told me I was approved for the retail space for Beauty's Biscuits.
Okay.
So we're in talks, and I'm going to get to have a look at the place, but there's something going on. So I really need to decide if I'm going to go ahead and...
something going on.
A current tenant wants to expand. If they expand, then I'll have to move into a different unit. So they're trying to figure that out, and then they're going to let me know which unit, in fact, I will be in.
Okay.
I mean, that being said, I need to really make some decisions. I've been ordering inventory and waiting for some stuff to come in, but I need to really recognize real if I'm going to be able to produce all of these biscuits and keep that up, because I'm going to have to hire people. I can't make the biscuits and sell the biscuits and run a store all by myself.
Yeah.
And, I've been doing a lot of the stuff by myself, but when you want to grow, you can't really do it by yourself.
Mm-mm.
So these are some hard and tough questions I need to ask myself.
Yep.
So I'm working on that. So good things, like never ask for anything you cannot handle, or,
But I mean, you haven't committed to an obligation.
Sure haven't. Nope. I have options. An option has opened up, and I'm considering it, and I'm thinking about what I need to do to be successful, or to, continue to grow and, go from there. It doesn't seem like your mom is happy about it. She's like, so for real? I'm like, okay, mom, all right. That's how you feel. But this is how I just feel like she's just like, oh, well, you need a real job. And when I first...
what bugs me about that phrase, real job, is that what you consider a real job might not be what somebody else considers a real job.
Yes.
Everybody has their opinion, and sometimes it's just like, you can keep your opinion because it's irrelevant.
I saw your Twitter post.
So...
No, you're 100% right. But when I first started, Beauty's Biscuits, and I was like, oh my gosh, Mom, I'm going to have a dollar biscuit. And she's like, okay, well, I hope this is not what you're going to invest your time in. But 8 years later, potentially might be opening up a store and being a boss bitch. Well, I'm already boss bitch, but I'll have a location and I could put something up that says boss bitch.
Can you imagine how many people told Steve Jobs, or not Steve Jobs, told, what's his name?
Bezos?
Yeah, Jeff Bezos. Oh, that's not going to work. I hope you're not investing all your time in there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Stop it, dude. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean that it's not possible.
Thank you, Brandi. I love you, girl. I love you, girl.
I'm just like, it's going to be like you have to do a lot of shit.
Dude, it's going to be a lot of shit. Sweat and tears, sleeping on floors and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll get a couch in my office and sleep there sometimes. Nah. Anyway, hey, I'm Sunni Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi Fleeks.
And this is Book of Lies, the podcast.
It's bold, bitches.
It is. And welcome to the podcast, y'all. Hello, listeners. We missed you guys. What have you guys been doing? Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. And if you'd like to connect with us on social, you can meet us on Twitter at Book of Lies Pod, on Instagram and Facebook at Book of Lies Podcast. We have a website, bookofliespodcast.com. Check it out. It has all of our previous episodes there. I have made some updates. Thank you very much. Check out our collaborations page. We did a collab with the Benjables podcast on the chilling adventures of Sabrina. I got it right. And episode 2 is going to come out. So we did 2 episodes with them. There's going to be another one that is full of the spoils. So definitely check that out. Brandi, what are you going to talk about today?
Today we're talking about this chick called Dawn Bennett. She defrauded $20 million out of 46 people.
Okay. Dawn.
And so this episode comes to us from American Greed.
Ha.
And this is weird. This story is weird. Well, she's weird. I should say that. She's weird. So Dawn Bennett worked in Washington. She was a Washington, D.C. Financial advisor. Okay. And she worked for a company in the 90s. And she, was pretty successful. She decided that she wanted to branch out on her own. So in 2006, she started up her own company called Bennett Group Financial Services.
Nice.
And she built her business. She some of the clients that she had when she was working for these other companies in Washington came with her. So she already had a client base. Mm-hmm. And then she started amassing clients as the years went on. She even had this one person who was a client of hers who apparently was some, I didn't write his name down. I probably should have, but I didn't. I didn't like him because he was a douche.
Okay.
He was some guy that like in the 90s was, and I guess the early 2000s was a relationship expert, but his relationship expertise was from the male point of view. So like he would go on game shows, and like he went on a game show, and this one chick was like, it was him and a girl. I don't know if it was a game show or not, but they were saying, oh, so the man pays for the first date. And he was like, oh, of course, always. And the chick that was next to him was like, that's so, that's so old or whatever. And basically he was like, he wrote a book called, God damn it, I don't even know the name of the book. I'm not even going to say the name of the book, but basically the book was how, a bad boy tells all about how dating works and how women can get ahead. Basically something along those lines. That's not the title of the book, but that's basically
Yeah,
that's basically what the title is, without me like saying the entire title and me actually looking for it, because I'm not going to.
Okay.
His dating expertise is pretty douchey.
Okay.
That's all I have to say about that. So he meets her in New York or in Maryland, somewhere where he's in a lobby of a building. I think it was in New York or somewhere. I don't know. They meet up. She tells him about her financial plan or her financial advising business. And he's like, oh, really? Okay, well, I'd love it if you work with me. I don't have as much money as you probably need for me to start. Cause she's like, yeah, we usually need $1 million for people to start working with people, but I'll work with you because I know who you are and I want to work with you. Whatever.
So she would say, usually I need $1 million, but I'm willing to fuck with you because I know you.
Right. Because she knew him because he's an author,
right.
And he and he was on TV. He was a bit on TV shows or whatever. Okay. So she goes on TV shows too. Like she goes on financial shows. Mm-hmm. Probably was on like Bloomberg, maybe NBC Financial, whatever.
Yeah.
She also does a radio show called Financial Myth Busting. This is a radio show that she has to pay for. The station is one of those stations where people have to pay for airtime because they're expressing their opinions and their like political opinions.
Okay.
So a lot of times people who want to come on this particular network mm-hmm. have to pay for their airtime.
It's kind of like the Pass the Loots and the things like they pay for that airtime.
Right. Because that's, religious stuff. So yeah.
Right.
But she manages to get herself on the top 100 female advisors list on Barron's Financial Magazine, which apparently is the financial magazine for financial investors, financial advisors, and I guess people who are into, stocks, things like that.
Yeah.
If
y'all in the finance,
watch this magazine,
you know what it is.
It's not Forbes, y'all. It's Barron's. She appears in the magazine multiple times, and by 2011, she's ranked number 2 as far as her managed financial assets by her company.
Okay. Her book of business, pretty much.
Yeah. The way they get on the list is that it's how much they earn or how much their customers make and how much they're managing financially for their customers.
Right.
So on one, they showed her, she was ranked number 5 and her listed managed assets were $1.1 billion.
Holy shit.
And that's when she's number 5. So imagine what it is when she's ranked number 2. She said at one point that she was managing, I think, $4 billion
shit.
in managed assets for her clients.
I'm a honey. I can give you $500. She's like, I only mess with $1 million, but I will not take your 500. Get out of here.
So she, of course, has to live the life of luxury.
Of course.
She's got to live a lavish lifestyle. So she buys 2 penthouse condos in Chevy Chase, Maryland. She buys an office space in a retail location that she uses for her company, Bennett Group Financial Services. Mm-hmm. She buys, or I should say she leases a skybox at the Dallas Cowboy Stadium for $50,000 a year, and it's a 20-year lease. So she's paying
oh my God,
$20 million on this this lease.
How long's the lease?
20 years.
And it's 50,000?
Yeah.
So it's 10,000.
10
million.
Okay. 10
Sorry.
million.
That's
I said,
still
20. I saw this 20.
It's cool. That's still a lot of money.
Yeah.
And the fuck. I think
for a skybox.
Right. And businesses do that. Like in LA, they do that. Like for the Lakers, they pay for season tickets and it's a lease. And it's shit that like people's family inherits and stuff. You know what I mean? They always have season tickets. It's kind of the same thing. That's insane.
It was just her.
I understand what you're saying.
It's just her by herself.
What I am saying, like, I'm trying to just comprehend the fuck.
Yeah. And she has 3 luxury cars.
Nice. Is she a
She's a shopper.
Woman?
She's a single woman.
Okay.
She wears the best clothes. She's got all the labels, all the shoes, all of the things, all of the everything that you can imagine some ostentatious asshole to be walking around in. That's what she has.
Okay. Ostentatious asshole. You know what I did notice though, by watching a lot of Housewives this weekend, actually this week, is the bitch is always rocking the Chanel. Chanel.
Yeah, they do. Chanel purses, Chanel earrings,
Chanel pendants,
Chanel belts,
Fendi.
Yes.
I shout out to Creep Podcast. What a creep. They did an episode on Coco Chanel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she was a Nazi sympathizer. Actually, she was a Nazi spy.
Oh, well, shit. All right, then.
But, like, you know, she was a self-made woman, of course. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was an interesting story, but, you know, where Chanel is now, her family doesn't get any of that money because she sold a portion of her business to some people. But anyway, it was a really good tale. And I just think it's like all the Chanel, because it's just like, oh, you're wearing Chanel, you must be fucking rich and famous and international. Like, you see Chanel. You see
not
Chanel.
Cheap.
No shit.
Chanel, I mean, honestly, and Chanel's been around for years and years and years and years.
Since the 1800s.
Exactly. So
people, no, it was the 1900s.
People wear vintage Chanel outfits and they still look magnificent.
The little black dress. That's what Chanel, she was like, you know, that's what she started off with the little black dresses. And then she evolved into her perfume. I learned a lot about them. You guys check them out. What a Creep Podcast.
Well, she has Chanel.
I bet.
So the guy that I was talking about, the client that I didn't recollect because he was a douche, he invested money with her. And when he first invested with her, he started to see his money go up. At its peak, his money was, or his account, I don't know, whatever. He had $1.5 million with her. She had taken his account from however much below $1 million he gave her, and it climbed all the way to $1.5 million.
Okay.
Then suddenly it starts to go down.
Ooh, she's pumping and dumping, huh?
And it starts to go down. And it starts to go down. And it starts to go down. And he's like, what the fuck's going on? And he says that she invested his money into high risk investments. Uh-huh. But
more risk, more reward, right, guys? Right?
But I don't know if that's what it was, to be honest. That's what he said it was, but okay. I don't know if that's what it was, because by the time he pulled out his money from her, he only had $180,000.
How much did he give her?
It didn't say how much he gave her, but it was less than $1 million.
It was less than $1.5 million.
It was more than $180,000. He gave her all his life savings. So the money that he made from, he said, this was money that like I took from my paper route all the way up to the book sales, because he wrote a book.
Yeah.
And he was appearing on TV.
Yeah.
And so all that money, because he said he doesn't need a lot of money to live. He lives very simply.
Yeah.
In the end, he ended up buying a shack.
Come on.
He bought a shack in Vermont, and he converted a van to live in. So he would live in the shack during the summertime, and the rest of the time he would live in the van in the winter. And it had solar panels on the van.
This is obviously a lifestyle he chose. I mean, if he had $180,000 left to his name, or if I had $180,000.
Yeah, he said like he didn't need a lot of money. So he was living simply anyway. Mm-hmm. But she basically bankrupted him, you know, for he was left with $180,000. So that's what he did in order to like maintain.
Survive.
Yeah. And I mean, the van didn't look bad, to be honest. Like, people are doing van life now, and they're living in converted vans. So whatever. But he does. In the end, when she gets her comeuppance, he gets $1 million restitution. So.
Oh, well, thanks for telling us now.
Because this is the last time I'm going to talk about him. So, okay. And then with that money, I mean, he built his own house. So he had bought that shack, but he built a house. Mm-hmm. So he's not,
I don't feel bad for him.
He's not living terribly. He built a house with his bare hands, and he has a dog, and he's got all this stuff around it. So It's a simple little house, but it's a nice looking house. He built it himself. So whatever. So when his money starts going down, and apparently she was collecting from him $350,000 in fees.
Ew.
Annually. So.
Ew.
Yeah.
That's what happened. He couldn't pay the fees no more. And she was like, here's the rest of your money, clown. Mm-hmm. I'm done with it.
So, he was like, I want my money. But he wasn't the only one that saw his money start to fly out the window, because other customers were like, oh, hell no. So they were like, we want our money. Like, I want my money back. They started complaining about her, and they reported her to the SEC.
Okay.
And so the SEC starts to investigate her.
The Securities and Exchange Commission?
Yes. The Securities and Exchange Commission starts to investigate her. And they're investigating her because she's claiming to be managing way more money than she actually was.
Oh, so she's lying.
She's lying. And she's claiming that she's getting all these dividends for her clients that she's not.
She double lying.
So they're like, oh, let's take a look. Meanwhile, she's like, you know what? I'm going to start another company.
Great.
So she starts a high-end sports apparel company called DJBennett.com. It's an online company. And basically she says that this is going to rival Under Armour. So her goal is to outsell Under Armour. Didn't say how long that she'd had planned to do this, or what her timeline was for her to become.
But like, why?
The next Under Armour, the next Lululemon.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking she was trying to rival Lululemon.
Yeah, both of them. She, her company had ski equipment, ski suits,
bunch of vests,
helmets, leggings, all the stuff, all the sporting goods,
all the things
stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And to complement that business, she decides she needs a storefront. So she leases another space that's right next to her financial business advising company. And so at this location, her customers can make an appointment. It's appointment only. They have to make an appointment to come and shop there to buy sports apparel. And she serves them champagne and craft beer while they're shopping.
I'll come shop with there. Over there, she probably needs to know my net worth before she gonna let me in the store, huh?
It's appointment only. So
my bad. You did say it was an appointment only. I can't get an appointment.
What is your name?
What is your name? We're gonna Google you.
Rothschild? Rockefeller? What is it?
It's Hepburn, bitch.
Oh, okay. Come on in.
Thank you.
So
yes, Catherine. Yes.
Yeah. But that company doesn't make any money. 2015 is when the SEC started getting involved.
Oh, yes.
So she starts to lose money because her investment clients, they're jumping ship. And then at that time, by mid-2015, she was only making $100,000 in commissions from those customers, from her clients.
120,000?
100,000 in commissions from her investment clients. She
used to make like millions.
Right. And so she's also putting all of her money into her online business.
Yeah.
Her apparel business, which is losing money. In 2012, it lost $1.4 million.
The apparel company?
Yes.
Damn.
And by 2015, she was losing more than $6.5 million a year in this DJBennett.com.
You need to know when to call it quits, my friend.
She refused, basically. That's what happened. She refused. She was trying to be the next Under Armour, for Pete's sake. So what does she do?
Steals the money.
She starts to offer her investment clients the opportunity to invest in DJBennett.com. Right? She tells them, and she creates this business plan, and she puts the financials inside of it. And it appears that her business is making money hand over fist. The yearly profits on the business plan go up every year.
Well, of
the
course,
numbers are going up.
It's a business plan. It's forecasting.
But she's telling the people that she's trying to get to invest in her company. She's telling them that this is what I made last year. This is what I made the year before that. This is what I project to make this year.
Yeah.
It was projected that 2020 she would make $99 million.
Bitch, bye. Bitch, bye.
But all of this was a fucking farce.
It's futter. It's all futter.
So instead of investing their money now into stocks and, other investment vehicles, she's putting their money toward her business.
I bet.
And she's offering them promissory notes at 15% annual returns.
Who wouldn't take that?
One of her clients was like, "Are you Madoffing me?"
Yes. Yes, I am. Yes.
"How can this be legal?" And she's like, "Well, it's your money. It's my company. I can pay you whatever returns I want." That's what she said.
It doesn't make honestly, if you had enough partners, it does not make financial sense.
She didn't have any partners.
I mean, investors or what have you.
She was putting her own money. She didn't have investors. That was the problem.
This is what she's offering these people. If she brings enough of them on, it does not make financial sense.
She only has 46 clients.
Okay.
Total.
Okay.
But they're wealthy clients. They're people who have money.
Right.
And the one that was like, "Are you Madoffing me?" He has been with her since 1996 or 95. So he trusts her implicitly.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I've been with you as a client for 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the financial statements that she has are backing up the claim that she's making all this money in the company. And she tries to bring on new clients, and she starts going after people like relentlessly to be her client.
Oh, be aggressive, huh?
She emails one client and he's like, "I can't invest with you. I have to use my money to take care of my bedridden wife." And she's like, "Well, why don't you invest with me? I'll get you more money," and blah, 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 blah. And people are like, "I can't afford to invest because there's always a potential for loss, number one. And number two, I need that liquidity because I have to take care of my family member." Mm-hmm. So she's going after people as hard as she can. She even goes as far as driving one of her clients to the bank, going inside the bank with them while they make a withdrawal to give her so she can invest that money into her company.
That's a stick up.
There is a freaking surveillance video of her standing in the bank next to her client while this is happening.
That's so shady. Like listen.
Yeah.
Sell some of them Chanel bags, bitch. Like, stop it.
She badgers them into investing with her.
That's why, when I tell people I'm in sales or that I am still in sales, people are just like, "Really? Why?" And me, I'm not a...
People say, "Really? Why?"
People are just like, "Ew, sales." Blah. But I'm not a bulldog. And I don't want to be bulldogged. I don't want to be pursued aggressively. Like me, I'm a sneaky bulldog. I'm just like...
I'm a sneaky bulldog.
So I'm just going to wear you down. Or when I get you in this position, we're going to talk this out. And I'm not going to let you go. But anyway.
Okay.
I don't like when people continuously, right now in my inbox, I've never responded. And they continue to send me fucking messages.
Yeah, that happens. Because they're auto messages anyway.
I know, but it's just
and you're in my mailing list.
I really want to block you. I really
do it. I unfollow. I unsubscribe, and I send people to spam all the time.
I'm just not that chick. I understand that's my job to eventually get your business, but I'm not gonna.
You can't get blood from a stone.
Exactly. There's so many other fish out there that
exactly.
If you didn't get a chance to get a piece of this, oh well, I'm moving on to the next. And that has many meanings.
Yeah.
I am Christy.
And I'm Leighton.
And together we are
Married Mash,
a podcast on a couple's guide to whiskey tasting.
Give us a listen as we try not only a whiskey, but branch out into new adventures. like cooking with whiskey, various cocktails,
Delish.
other alcohol-related drinks,
Brought to you by our potluck segment,
and bottom shelvers.
better known as the BS Review.
Then we'll try a new whiskey we haven't had before.
Will we clink it?
Or will we sink it?
Listen for our weekly episodes on Anchor, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And remember,
Always drink responsibly.
indeed.
So while she's trying to get clients to invest in her apparel company, the SEC is still digging into her Bennett Financial business group, whatever. And in late 2015, they filed charges that she misled the public between 2009 and 2011 when she claimed to be managing $1.1 to $2 billion in assets to get herself on to Barron's magazine.
Yeah.
Right. And when they find out that she never had more than $407 million under her management. I mean, that's still a lot of money, but it's not, I guess, Barron money.
Yeah, but so who is she? Because this is her business.
It's her business. They're both her business.
And so she's putting together these financially fraudulent documents.
Right. And for Barron's, what she was doing was she was submitting the information to them.
Yeah.
Apparently Barron's said that they go off of the information that's submitted to them and the information that comes from the SEC. But
what information would come from the SEC regarding that person's book of business?
Not their book of business.
I know it's
their financial documents, because the SEC monitors them, and the SEC is supposed to have a report on these every year. They're supposed to. But apparently they didn't. So Dawn was sending this money or
these documents,
sending the financial documents to Barron's saying, I'm managing $2 billion in assets. Mm-hmm. And that's how she was getting on the magazine. Right. And of course the magazine was getting into the hands of investors
people,
and other. So she basically was putting the public at risk.
She did lie to the public, bitch.
And so they were like, oh no, we're filing fucking suit.
So is there still a class action lawsuit open? Can we get in on this? Because I feel cheated.
She told her clients that the reason that their SEC was coming after her, because it was, and they had published a press release saying that they were going after her. Mm-hmm. She says, oh, it's a witch hunt. They're just coming after me because I don't agree with President Obama's financial ideals.
Okay.
So that's why they're coming after me.
Oh, it's Obama, huh? Okay.
Because, it's his fault.
I love how they try and throw shit on the president. Oh, hold up. We got a new president.
Yes, we do.
This week. Okay, let's stop. Okay. Record scratch. Y'all, we are here today to tell y'all that there is a new regime in the White House. And it is Biden Harris and the hizzle for shizzle. Mm-hmm. My pod pizzles.
Pod pizzles.
I watched it. Look at, I recorded Lady Gaga and I recorded J-Lo, and I'm thinking about putting it on our YouTube because I was like, for real, J-Lo, for real. And then she gonna go ahead and sing This Land Is Your Land. I died. I cackled on the video because I'm just recording the TV, you know? Uh-huh. And I cackled when she started singing This Land Is Your Land, but it wasn't bad.
But
it wasn't bad at all.
The song is terrible. That song.
I sang that. We sang that song like in 5th grade.
Yeah, but again, that song is terrible.
I cackled.
Okay.
All day long. I was in the politics. I was like, "What's up, Garth Brooks? Who is over there playing with my friend Tim McGraw and the ginger in Tennessee when they did that song? I'm not sure what his name is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It was a good time. I was just watching politics all day on Wednesday.
Okay.
So I just wanted to let you guys know the nightmare is over. We can all wake up from one nightmare. There's other nightmares happening still, but that one, I just had to interject.
Yeah, well, hopefully he goes to prison. So
jail time.
Because New York is trying to file charges.
Against Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he'll be on our podcast this year, 2021.
Listen, I already told you I was going to do an episode on him.
Okay,
so in 2015... and most of this is like happening in 2015 for some reason. Miss Bennett, decides that she needs help.
Okay.
she finds a website called Puja.net.
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 Okay.
Which was founded by a man named Ben Collins. Puja.net is a Hindu Indian spiritual website that they offer puja and yadra rituals. They pray to and make offerings to Hindu gods, Hindu deities, to remove any obstacles that are blocking success.
Oh boy. Is that the elephant with the arms?
There's a lot of them.
Okay.
There's a lot of deities.
Okay.
You're talking about Ganesha. But she is nutso, and she starts spending money because it costs money. Yeah, it costs money. It's not a major fee, but it costs money to
remove these blockages, obviously.
Right, because it's actual Hindu priests in India at temples doing these rituals on your behalf.
My eyes are rolling.
His company pays them. He basically, he funds Indian families.
Okay.
In India.
Okay, if that's what he's doing, okay. And he's just dropping names. Like, okay, you need to go ahead and pray for Don Bennett real quick.
He sends, I guess, I don't know how he, but he does. They pay the people will eat off of this.
Okay.
The problem is that she's just throwing money at it. And so he's noticing that there's a whole bunch of money coming in from this one lady. Okay. And he's like, hey, this has Ben Collins. What can I help you with?
Do you need help, honey?
And she's like, there are people that are coming after me, my enemies. I'm in a fight against my enemies. The SEC is coming after me. And he's like, okay, well, you don't have to keep paying all this money. She ended up spending $800,000 on these rituals.
Well, at least, Tom Collins?
He said for 2 years, they funded the whole, everybody, all of the priests in India that were working with him, that they were able, he said there were 45 of them, and them and their families were
good.
He was able to pay them very well.
A lot of rupees.
Yeah.
Ben Collins, I commend him and want to applaud him for calling this person hey, I enjoy your money, but what's going on?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Because he probably had
I had a really good year, and it's all coming from this same chick.
And so he was concerned.
Yes, and that makes sense. Can I help? Can I pray for you myself? Are you all right?
But he says, she was kind of a bully. He was you don't have to spend. She's like, oh, don't worry. At the most, I was making millions of dollars every year. Blah 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 blah. And she was I guess kind of badgering him about these
get me more monks
rituals. She was spending $1,000 a day.
That's nasty. That's disgusting. I'm sorry.
Then one day, an 80-year-old woman goes into a bank and she asks to withdraw an inordinate amount of money to invest in djbennett.com. Ugh. She hands the bank representative this business plan. Bank representative is like, let me go check this out. Goes online, finds the press release from the SEC that they're digging into her financials, sees that it's the same name, goes and calls the SEC. Now the SEC is onto her djbennett.com, because before they were focusing on Bennett Group Financial Services. So now they're like, okay, let's look at this djbennett.com shit. SEC's like, okay, we're gonna fucking go after this bitch. They call the FBI.
Ooh wee, y'all in trouble.
FBI calls Ben Collins.
Okay.
They're like, this woman is doing business with you, or she's, paying you your website. All that money is money that she took from her clients to fund to pay you.
Oh shit. I just fed a bunch of people in India. I can't help you. I paid them.
He cuts off all contact with Dawn. He's like, nope, can't work with you no more. And he helps the FBI.
Not today, Dawn.
Yeah, he funds the FBI. He can't give the money back. After it's exchanged.
He's paid. He's doing his job.
Yeah.
And they can't, you're going to go back to the store where she bought food and say, give us back this food.
Exactly. So, they're like, well, we just want you to know this is what's happening. So he's like, okay, I'll cooperate with you. I'm not going to talk to her anymore. And so that's what happens.
He knew there was something fishy going on. That's why he called her.
Yeah. So FBI digs into her, Bennett company. They find out that all the investors' money is going to fund her lifestyle. And they're paying for her cars, her condos. She's had cosmetic procedures, all of her shopping, all of that shit. She was even buying crystals and gemstones that were supposed to, the healing crystals and things like that. She bought a freaking yellow sapphire that cost $80,000, more than $80,000. She spent more than $100,000 on crystals and gemstones.
She's real woo-woo.
Oh, girl, it gets weirder. Watch. So while this is going on, though, the investors are trying to get a hold of her because they're like, I want my money. I want my money. I want my money. There's a recording of them calling the offices, and whoever answers the phone says, oh, she's out of the country. And the lady on the phone's like, what do you mean she's out of the country? She was sick last week. Now she's out of the country. This is bullshit. And so they're telling people that she's sick, that she's out of the country, and she's not returning any calls.
Well, of course not. She's lying and she's spending everybody's fucking money and they know it. And she's trying to pay some holy people to pray it away.
Yeah.
It's not going to go away.
So, okay, in July 2016, the SEC bars her from securities industry, so she can no longer be a financial advisor.
That makes sense.
And they barred her for inflating her assets and clients' performance in her financial advisory firm. On August 2nd, 2017, the FBI raids her office and her condos. At her office, there's a note that they find that's like taped or something to whoever answers the phones. It says,
oh my gosh, please.
If anyone calls, I'm sick or something.
I'm in Bermuda.
And then if a process server comes, I'm out of the country working as a consultant until 2016. This was in 2015 that the note obviously was written.
Right.
But it says I'm out of the country working until 2016. That's what it says. And it says, I'm a consultant. I was like, because why would you be out of the country working if you're a financial advisor in the United States? That doesn't make sense.
Okay, listen.
So they go into her condos. One of them is her residence. And she's got all kinds of fucking gaudy ass furniture.
Thrones and shit laying around.
Dude, they showed an image of this tea set. It was a gold tea set. It looked like it came off a fucking pirate ship. I was like, what? Like, who needs a Saudi prince would have a gold tea set like this? That's what it looked like. She had all kinds of like gigantic furniture that was Asian inspired furniture or Asian style furniture, or maybe it was from, wherever, India, China, who knows? Her other condo, though, is her fucking closet. It's a penthouse condo. She has 2 penthouse condos. It's her closet. It looks like picture this. I was like, what fucking department store is this? It has department store racks. Everything is on department store racks in her freaking condo. The shoes are laid out. She had over 700 pairs of shoes. Everything was hung up. The purses were hung up. I was just like, this bitch. Shit, there was shit that still had tags on it. $1,000 tags.
Bitch. Well, obviously she wanted a store, so she was practicing in her condo.
That's funny. That's what one of the attorneys for the SEC was like, well, people could say that maybe it was inventory for her store, but everything was her size.
Yeah.
So
everything's all the same size. You're not planning on selling
her
this
shit.
stuff.
So, no. Unless you're trying to start a consignment store, but even that, no.
That's insane.
Yes.
But people feel like their shoes and their purses and outfits are investments.
Yeah, I know.
And, they could flip it and consign it and, do that stuff.
But they're not going to get as much as they paid for it.
Of course not, because they're going to flash it and then consign.
But
and some person like myself be like, oh my gosh, really? A Chanel
belt buckle
for $500? Yeah, giddy up. No, not at all.
She had Louboutins, Jimmy Choo's, Manolo Blahniks. all kinds of shit up in that house.
Did she
in a
have
condo?
Did she have these special collection Swisher Sweet Uggs?
No, she didn't have those. None of you bitches.
None of you bitches.
Yeah, Lord.
Check out Brandy's Instagram. It's funny.
But they go even deeper and they find a freezer.
What's in the freezer? I'm scared. Please don't be a body in the freezer. What's in the freezer?
They find a freezer that is stuffed with mason jars.
Weed?
No. I told you this shit gets weird. The mason jars have initials on top of the lids.
Hair?
And they are full of some weird, crusty stuff. One of the guys who was there said that it was full of a sandy sludge that didn't smell good. Near those, they find the information, biographical information of the attorneys that are working with the SEC that are trying to file charges against her.
She's doing voodoo. She's doing voodoo.
And then they find the instructions for a hoodoo beef tongue shut up spell.
Oh shit!
And you've seen Devil's Advocate, right?
Yes.
That's one, like the spell that Delroy Lindo was doing. Remember, he was like, "What is the name of the attorney for his landlords?"
Mm-hmm.
And he told him the name, and so he busts out a tongue and throws some nails on it, and he's like, "Okay, good, get out."
She probably watched that movie.
Well, you can go online.
You can Google a lot of things
and find this hoodoo spell. It's not voodoo; it's hoodoo.
Excuse me, sorry.
Voodoo is a religion. It's an actual religion. Hoodoo is a practice. It's a form of witchcraft.
Yes.
The letters on the mason jars are the initials of the attorneys. And so she, I guess, has done this spell multiple times on the same people multiple times. The mason, I was like, why is the same initial on this jar like there's 17 jars in the pictures. I'm sure there were more, but in the pictures there were 17 jars and like at least 15 of the jars have the same initials on them.
I'm really creeped out. Maybe some people had the same initials.
Well, they got a hoodoo practitioner on to talk about this. And she was like, this is a serious spell.
What?
This is a spell that she's only done once, this lady.
Okay.
She's like, and it's a spell that you only use if you're in dire straits. She's like, most people don't let things get this bad to need to use this spell. And I'm surprised that she did it repeatedly because, again, like, it's not a spell that you fuck with, apparently.
Right.
And so she kept doing the spell on the same people. But it didn't work, apparently, because her ass still got fucking arrested.
Karma is stronger than hoodoo, baby.
So after all the bullshit, she gets fucking arrested, goes to trial, and judge is like, you fucked up. You're going to prison. The jury fucking was like, yeah, she fucked up. She's going to prison.
Okay.
They found her guilty on 17 counts, 17 federal charges, including conspiracy, securities fraud, wire fraud, bank fraud, and making false statements on a loan application. Judge sentenced her to 20 years in prison, followed by 5 years of supervised release.
So she's got 20 years.
20 years and 5 years of supervised release. She was sentenced in 2019.
So she's probably going to get out in...
Hopefully in 20 years.
years.
Hopefully she gets out in 20 years. She still has 5 years of supervised release. So here's the thing. I'm sure that people who have a whole bunch of money to invest like that probably don't listen. But if you should find yourself in a situation where you're like, I would like to invest my money, don't just invest all your money with one person.
Yeah.
That's the problem with all of these stories is that people are Bernie Madoff, fucking Dawn Bennett. They invested their money with one person, one company, and this is what happens.
I think the thing is, when you invest with the person who's trying to fuck you, they want every penny. But then Bernie Madoff would say, oh, I told them not to invest all of their money with me, knowing that you've just asked for all of my money, that you've asked for like my entire savings. Like my savings is something that I was expecting that I could live off later on in life that you do not need at this time. Mm-hmm. So I find out that I'm just getting interest and you're enjoying the interest and putting it in the bank, you know, so to speak.
Yep.
And then to find out all the shit's fucking gone because these motherfuckers spent my money. I think it's a lazy way of going about it. It's just like, let me just earn this 15%. That's what she was offering, 15%. That's if people who invested with her business, though, right?
Invested in djbennett.com.
Right. But Brandy's right. Don't put all of your eggs in one basket.
And she was ordered to pay, it was like $14 million and something in restitution.
Good.
And she got a bunch of fines. And that's how that dude got his $1 million.
So he actually got paid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because they probably sold her stuff.
It was paid by insurance. She had insurance. Her businesses had insurance.
My mouth just fell down, y'all. So
yeah, it was paid by insurance.
I'm sorry. So if I have insurance for my business and I fuck a bunch of people, depending on the size of my policy, my insurance company is going to go ahead and pay the bill?
Her insurance company paid the bill. Just like if somebody like if you have, I'm sure there's financial planners have to have, or financial companies have to have some sort of financial, you know, insurance protection.
Yeah.
But like if you go to say Albertsons and you fall and bust your teeth and, you know, you file suit, the insurance company pays. They have liability insurance. It's called umbrella insurance to help pay for, you know, unforeseen circumstances. Now she fucked these people, which is why I'm surprised.
Stuff like the FICO insurance. No, I don't know.
No, it's called umbrella coverage for businesses.
Okay.
I haven't written an article for an insurance company.
If you guys know,
time.
send us an email to bookoflifespodcast@gmail.com or tweet at us.
It's called general umbrella insurance. General umbrella insurance. But the thing is that she knowingly defrauded these people. So that's why I'm like, maybe the insurance company that she had was hella fucking like, they were okay with paying off these.
They're probably suing her.
They might be, but they paid him.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's like I could do all kinds of nonsense because he probably opened up a claim against her. That's probably what he did. But like
You'd have to.
I could just be reckless and lose all a bunch of money and my insurance company is going to come pay the tab. I have a hard time with that. But I bet he sued her ass.
But she has to file the claim.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, what a bitch. So she's in jail.
She's in prison. And club fed, I'm sure.
A club fed! I feel like that was Jim Carrey. Wow. And then she was doing hoodoo? That's what kills me.
Yes, she resorted to hoodoo.
The weird woo-woo.
And look, apparently the guy who was talking about, he said that he didn't remember, you know, what it said, but he said the words were something like, I cross and cover you. I command you to be silent. I command you to hold your tongue.
Okay.
And the hoodoo practitioner said that you get a beef tongue from, like, you know, the deli from.
Yeah.
And you slice it down the middle and open it up. And then you put either a picture of the person in it or their name, a name paper in it. And then you sew the tongue back up. While you do this. And you also have to like put a bunch of shit in a jar. Like there's some dirt and some weird stuff. I was like, what is this shit she's doing? Because they showed her like, I guess trying to, or maybe it was a mock, you know, one, but yeah, it showed her like how it would be done. And I was just like, you really, I mean, and she said it's for somebody who's in dire straits or whatever, that it's like a last resort to do this spell. But I was just like, that's crazy. This lady she was turned into to Eastern religions. She was turned into hoodoo. I'm surprised she didn't freaking like have some fucking tarot cards and runes and all kinds of other shit. Have some altars with bones and shit on it because she was crazy.
Well, that's just you don't know what kind of crazy people are dealing with.
That's true.
So be wary.
Beware. Be very aware.
All right. That was interesting, man. Do you have a thumbs up for the week?
I I guess just everything I'm working on. Like I'm starting to feel like I'm being really productive, which is super helpful.
That's
like,
good.
But that's about it. What's your thumbs up? 40 week.
Girl, it's not a thumbs up. It's a fuck up. So last week, I fucked up last week. I fucked up real bad. I totally forgot. So I do too much at one time, and I couldn't find my work phone. I was like, "Where's my work phone? I don't know where it is." And I'm doing laundry, and I go to take the clothes out of the washing machine and put them in the dryer, and in the bottom of the washing machine is my work phone.
Oh no!
The bitch went through a cycle, knocked all around the damn washing machine. I was like, fuck. I put it in a bowl of rice, like once it was done, obviously. I put it in a bowl of rice, and it wouldn't turn on. It's dead. So I'm an idiot. I did that. And then I emailed my job. I was like, hey, so I broke my phone. Can we open up a claim or a policy or whatever to get the phone replaced? We're like, oh, we don't know if we have another phone. No. They were like, oh, we don't know. It's not covered. Because it was like a real like basic iPhone. And so she's like, well, we'll just have to see if we have another one. She's like, ee.
How do you only have one phone?
A cell phone? Yeah.
Like for your employees.
Yeah.
Shit happens. You should have spares.
Don't you got some phones on spare?
I'm just saying.
So my thumbs up for the week is I don't fuck some shit up no more. I need to stop doing too many things at one time. Because it's like, okay, so like when my husband leaves, he takes Bren with him, drops her off at mom's house. And then when they leave, I'm like, okay, now I can get stuff done. I'm going to throw these clothes in the wash machine. Then I'm going to do some work because I get work done before she gets up. But once she gets up, I can't do work.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like a crazy person doing all these things. And I get all mixed up and I threw the phone in the washing machine.
It wasn't like in a pocket or you had it in your hand and it just
I put it. Okay, so I put all the I think it was towels. I put all the stuff I was going to wash in the basket, and I was going down the stairs. So I put my phone and my work phone and like my notebook inside of the basket. And when I came down, I took my phone, my regular phone, and my notebook out, but I left that phone in the basket.
Damn.
And so I just dumped the stuff in the washing machine.
You didn't hear chunk.
No, but the second I turned on the machine, I was like, oh no, there's something in there. I don't know what that is. Because I was like, there's something big in there. I have no idea.
It's just towels, so that should have been...
Dude, or maybe it wasn't towels, maybe it was clothes. I was like, oh, maybe there was something in the pocket. Like, I wash toys all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm just used to it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, shit, that was my work phone. So my thumbs up is hopefully I'll get another phone, see what happens. I need to make some decisions. I need to do a lot of planning to see what future maybe for Beauty's Biscuits. Hey, check out beautysbiscuits.com for dog biscuits.
Have you made a business plan? Make a business plan.
I need to make a business plan.
Yeah, make a business plan.
That's on my to-do list for the week, a business plan. Other than that, hey guys, thank you for listening. Thanks for being here with us. And we love y'all. So definitely come on back. Connect with us on social if you want, on Twitter at Book of Lies Pod, Instagram and Facebook at Book of Lies Podcast. Join us on Patreon. We've got different tiers, $2, $5, $10, and we got the champagne room for $20. We make anytime we record an episode, we're going to be talking directly to you. Once a month, visually. We get all done up, throw our hairs on, and beat the face. Only for the champagne room patrons. So check us out. www.patreon.com/Book of Lies Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and please come on back. And thank you for being here again. And I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandi Fleet.
And this was Book of Lies, the podcast.
It's Bolt, bitches.